Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily, and I am a student in Plant Sciences 110c today. And I am so excited to introduce a good friend of mine who just recently graduated from UCDavis and is farming in Yolo County. Please have a round of applause for Yusuf.
Hi class, it's great to be back at PLS110c. So I'm growing a spinach crop currently on my farm. In order to prepare the crop, I had to go through some extensive soil preparation because I had grown wheat the year before and there was still some stubble. So the way I did my tillage practices was I used a chopper, a disker, a lister, and then an incorporator. So I use these conventional tillage practices because spinach seed is very delicate, so I had to really make sure that the soil was prepared for the production methods. For irrigation, I had used two types of methods, the drip irrigation and the overhead method. I was doing this to kind of compare the different ways of irrigating the crop because we're currently in a drought in California and water efficiency is very important. Do you have a question, Emily?
Did you notice any changes in the growth?
So I had measured my above ground biomass.
Now I'm going to take my fresh sample's weight.
So you can see some great differences in the data. If you want to come over here, you can actually see a graph that I had prepared earlier showing the differences. So earlier on in the first week, till the third week with the overhead method, you kind of see the same results, about 1.5 to 1.7 grams of biomass. With the drip irrigation method, you still see a little bit of growth, going from 3.5 to 6.3 percentage. And once you look at the percentages, it's actually a great increase. But then week 3 is where everything kind of spiked off, and you can see the differences. So for the overhead method on week 4, we only reached about 5 grams of biomass, where in the drip irrigation method, we reached 25. So you can see the big gap between the drip and the overhead method on in the 4th to 5th week, and I'm sure later on in the season, I'll see that difference again, and we'll see it expand even further.
I'm so excited that we're going to call Han. Let's see if we can reach him right now. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning in China. Okay, Han, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, Emily, hi.
Good morning, Han. How are you?
Good morning. How's things going on there?
Oh, everything is good, and I'm so excited to introduce to you the PLS110c class.
Great.
And they're so excited to hear about your conservation tillage methods.
Hi, class. So conservation tillage is what farmers are doing now in China. The reason is that we give a really good high quality of soil, and the moisture content in the soil is higher with conservation tillage. And to test that, we have a trial on spinach. I got 2 irrigation systems too, and one is drip line, and one is overhead sprinkler. For the overhead sprinkler, I got 8.4 grams per 10 spinach, and for the drip line, I got a slightly lower, 32.5 grams per 10 per 10 plants. I think the reason for this is because the distribution uniformity is not very high for the sprinkler. It's only 43.4%, and it's really matters how my student or farmers sample their 10 plants. In this way, I think the data of the 15.8 grams per 10 plants is slightly high because of the sampling method. And the uniformity of the drip line is really high. It's 96%. I also do my irrigation plan according to my 10 meter like my friend Yusuf did in United States. But I'm doing a higher irrigation amount through the drip line. It's 3.7 inches and it's 0.8 inches for the sprinkler. Yeah. So do you have any questions for me?
Guys, we are so lucky to have got to hear from not one, but 2 spinach farmers today. So after hearing from both Yusuf and Han, do you guys have any ideas about what might be the best way to grow spinach in our climate in Davis, California?
Well, I think the strip tillage seems like it had pretty good results, but at the same time, a lot seems to depend on the kind of irrigation the farmer used.
Yeah, I mean, moreover, the drip irrigation seemed to really affect the plants positively and provided enough water in an efficient way.
Yeah, so when you looked at the 2 farmers overall, maybe Han's strip tillage performance was slightly better than Yusuf's conventional tillage performance, but when you look at the 2 kinds of irrigation, when you use drip tillage, the numbers for the strip tilled field and the conventional tilled field were almost the same. So maybe that's something to keep in mind, that it's the combination of the tillage and irrigation that's going to be important.
Yeah,
for our
it seems that
irrigation.
the drip is already maximizing efficiency and you can't really improve too much from there.
You probably would need a few more years using the conservation tillage also before you really see the nutrient benefit to the soil.
Yeah, maybe a couple years down the line, using the same method as Han used, you would see a bigger difference.
What do you guys think?